Welcome and thank you for listening to the Muses of the Crystal Lotus.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Muses of the Crystal Lotus Shop. There we go. Sorry, gotta finish my coffee before I can think.
It's one of the two.
It's one of the two. It's us. Early in the morning.
Yeah, that's about right. You'd think that we'd do these episodes when we had a little bit more cognitive brain power than
Yeah, but
first thing in the morning.
Yeah, but then we're not as silly.
Oh, that's true too. These little slap happy episodes, you know.
It's what makes us us.
I think we're always slap happy though.
Yeah. Pretty
Regardless
much.
what time of day we're
Tennille
all...
gets here and then we're caught in a windstorm slap happy.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. So,
We have a lot of fun.
yes, we do.
Today we wanted to show you and talk to you about the aura pictures we had done. This was really an interesting, fun time thing. This one's mine. You can barely see it, but this one's mine. And then this one is Golden Girl Stephanie.
So, what are aura pictures?
Aura pictures are done on special equipment, and I can't even begin to describe the equipment because of it's a bunch of different frequencies that's shooting through there, picking up your frequencies. And from what Sondra Lambert is the one that does our aura pictures, and she will be coming back into the store hopefully the end of March. But you put your hand on this really cool machine and it picks up the energy from your hand, and then it just starts running through all these different screens, and it tells you what your emotional state is, it tells you what your mental state is, it tells you what your energy state is, whether you're stressed or not. I mean, just everything. That's what the little chart down here on the bottom is. And we were talking about it and having so much fun doing it that, of course, everybody in the shop had to do it.
Of course.
It just, you know. So we kept her busy for an hour or two before we even opened. And then once we opened, it was just bam, 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 bam. But I like to use the aura pictures to show people their real beauty, the beauty that's on the outside of them. People look at your face and they go, oh, you're pretty, or wow, you really ought to do something about that nose. You know, but aura pictures don't lie. That is your energy field. So when you're looking at the colors that are in your aura, you're actually seeing the real beauty that's you.
See, and I hope that this is a precursor episode to one in which we get to interview Sondra.
Yes.
And so that she can give you a more detailed description about what she does and the how the aura photography pictures work. But one of the things that I remember taking away from the experience, I mean, I took away a lot from the experience, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It was fascinating. But one of the things she said was she likes to use this tool to explain to people that energy, even though we don't see it, we think about it all the time. You know, energy's real, energy works, chakras, Reiki, all of the things that we do here in the shop. Yep. But because we don't see it, it's really hard for some people to conceptualize what's going on. And so part of the aura pictures is showing you the visual representation of energy being emitted from your body.
Yes.
And everyone's energy is different and eclectic. And we had everyone in the shop come in and do it, and you saw Shauna's picture was a nice blue, and then mine here is more of a gold, and that's a blend between the yellows and the oranges. Miss Tina had hers done, our Reiki Master. Now you can see in that picture, from the camera angle that you can see it in, all of the white, which is really to be expected for a Reiki Master. She's very enlightened.
Very enlightened.
There's also shades of purple, which is, you know, with that crown chakra at the top of your head and expanding out into her higher self and beyond. So it's just fascinating to see the multiple different colors, and how everyone is completely different. So this is Jeannie,
She's more toward the yellow.
and you can see more green on hers than like the golden that was in mine. And then Tennille, our massage therapist, hers came back red, in
No,
a blend
orange.
of red and orange together. So when you put them all together and you lay them out, actually, we had a complete spectrum from red
Of the Reiki,
all the way up
of
to
the
purple
chakras.
and white.
Yeah.
And each of our energies vibrate differently and emit differently. And so it's kind of cool to see it that way, because you know, we work so well together here in the shop, and we all bring something different to the table, and we
Yes.
visually got to see that in real time, that we're just doing something completely different and cool.
I enjoy it. What was the conversation we were having? I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, where we were talking about the ladies in the shop, because that's all that's here right now. Tina was spirit.
Oh yeah, so we're working on branding, sort of, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
the Holistic Education Center and all of the parts involved.
Right.
Which in previous episodes, if you haven't had a chance to learn more about our Holistic Education Center, it is probably a couple episodes back. Definitely check it out, because what we've got going on is phenomenal. But so what our overall picture is we've got a mind, body, spirit healing practice.
Mm-hmm.
And there are various layers to the mind body healing based on each person's professional job, I guess. So for example, you know what I do, I'm the nutrition and herbalist here, so I'm primarily focusing on body health. How can we get our body healthy, but also, because I'm using food and herbs, I am the grounding point.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the physical grounding people to the earth. I am that connection point.
Right.
Okay, so then Tennille
Mm-hmm.
is the massage therapy, so she does more physical work that helps people transition between their mental and their physical being. So it starts with me, and then it goes to Tennille. And then Jeannie is the creative director. She helps with the emotional side and uses chromotherapy, which is the therapy of colors and color treatment, to help people process, deal with their emotions, open some chakras, and that is more of a mental part, mental and emotional.
Mind.
Yeah. So there's body, like root connection, body, mind, and emotional. So then there's you and Tina, and you kind of, both of you are mind / spirit at the same time, because you're Tina uses energy in her work. She is an energy conduit as a Reiki master, pulling from the energies, not our energies, not our auras, but the visual representation of energy. She uses that as a conduit to help heal, open people's chakras.
But now Jeannie and I are both Reiki masters in here too.
Correct. So then she would be more of a energy healer. So that's connecting the spiritual and physical to the energy realm. So we've got one below and one above, and then we've got you, which is
I'm the troublemaker.
you're the channeler, you know, that connects the higher to beyond. So we've layered on all of our components in our business. We have layered on this full connection from down into the earth to up above
Into the cosmos.
into
and
the
field.
cosmos. And you know, the religious aspect, wherever your religion falls, you know, we honor all of those things, because we know,
I don't like to call it religion. I like to call it path.
we know that in the wellness wheel, there are multiple different outlets that encompass and embody health.
Mm-hmm.
And, one person can do all of the food and herb part of it,
Mm-hmm.
but be completely out of balance somewhere else.
That's true. Yeah.
And so what we like to do, and I just totally had an idea that we're going to talk about off screen. Sorry guys, this will come to you soon. We'll talk about it. But what we're doing is we're trying to promote balance along the wellness wheel for people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just phenomenal.
Speaking of wellness wheels, medicine wheels, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I decided that's when we get the second part of the store done,
Mm-hmm.
the big fountain I was talking about,
Yes.
that's going to be dead center of a medicine wheel.
Write down wheel so that I don't forget
Write
whatever
down
I'm
wheel.
Here we are,
Wheel.
recording an episode and brainstorming fascinating things at the same time. So we're still trying to level up everything that we do. Thank you, listeners, for being our inspiration today, because that's what that was. Just
And for being
inspiration.
patient with us as we digress as usual.
But it's really cool to see whenever you look at the aura photos.
Mm-hmm. We cover
How-
the chakra spectrum
Yes.
pretty well.
While we help people
Um,
do that kind of work,
mhm.
and that's absolutely fascinating. And
This is why we're unique, people.
so one of the things that I liked about the aura pictures, and I'm going to use yours because yours is right here, is
Yours is right there.
right down here in this corner picture, and I know that you're not going to be able to see, but there's a body and an outline of the aura field, but there are chakra representations as well.
Mhm.
And so not only does her technology read your outer, but it also kind of reads your inner energy fields
Yes.
and tells you,
Which chakras are open, which chakras are not working at all.
yes, pretty much, and which ones are overactive, et cetera, et cetera. Which will lead us into the conversation for the next Muses episode. So stay tuned for that one if you want to hear more about chakras. So, but anyways, so Sondra, she's from Maryland.
I believe it is.
Yeah. I would love to have her on this episode. On these
I
Muses.
would too. I'm gonna contact her and see if she'd be willing to do a Zoom type thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can have her on
Unless
for
she
our
wants to
listeners.
come really early or stay late or maybe come the night before again
And do an in-person.
and do an in-person one,
Yeah,
which
that
would
would
be
be
awesome.
So these aura pictures, I mean, this was a one-time event
Mm-hmm.
that we had on a Psychic Saturday. Because she's not local. So we do plan on having her back through. So that way, if
Maybe
you,
once a quarter or every couple of months or something like
Yeah.
that. It won't be an every month thing, but
unfortunately, but she
yeah,
will be back.
Sondra and her husband also have another business. They are both hypnotherapists. So if you are interested in that, we could probably get her in here on a Taste of the Lotus Psychic Saturday, her and her husband, and you can see whether you can quack like a duck.
But that's the only thing that scares me about hypnosis is that right there.
Yeah, that somebody throws some silly little thing in there and you don't understand why you're doing it. You just have this need to do it.
Somebody says something like, whenever you hear the word biscuit, you crap like a
You
duck.
crap like a duck. There you go.
That would be terrible. Go to Bob Evans. Would you like some biscuits today?
Lay
I gotta go clean up.
Wait a minute, I just laid an egg. I gotta go.
I totally meant to say quack, but now I'm like all caught up into what my words are. Don't crap like a duck. I'm sorry.
Hypnotherapy is a very powerful tool in a lot of ways. And I have seen some people that have been hypnotized. It's been very beneficial. A couple of them had a trauma where they were scared, couldn't stand to be in the house alone, or couldn't stand the dark, or just fear type things, and hypnotherapy helped them. I also know people who have had hypnotherapy for addictions, like quitting smoking, and I might try that one just to see if I can help myself here. But I don't know. If you're interested, let us know.
Yeah, please.
We'll be more than happy to get her and Sondra and her husband in here to do a 2-on-2 or something.
That'd be awesome.
I think it'd be great.
But I definitely want to do the aura photos again, and I think that would be kind of cool to see, because me and Shauna had ours done the night before, and then we had it done again the next day, and both of ours changed.
Yeah, but the ones that she did the night before was after we closed the shop. We had been open all day. We were tired. Our energy levels were low.
She looked at you and said, "You are tired."
Yeah.
That's what she said. Your first reading was, "You are tired," and you were like, "Yeah, that's true."
Been on my feet most of the day. Yeah, probably am.
Yeah.
But she also looked at yours and said the same thing. Mm-hmm. You're worn out.
Yeah. So she was like, "We'll just do this again in the morning so that we can see how it changes, and then you can get we ourselves got a better understanding of just how much change in your energy levels, in your energy field, your exterior aura, based on getting a night's sleep."
Yeah. One of the things that she told us was about the whole, when you sleep at night, that's kind of like plugging your electric car in at night. It charges your batteries, gets your energy levels back up, so you're ready to hit the next day.
And so we're going to have this conversation a little bit further in the next episode about recharging your batteries, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But that goes back to the same principle of everything that we do here, all of the different layers that we have for the business. What we eat affects our aura.
Yes.
What we drink, if we're hydrated, affects our aura. If we're stressed, that affects our aura. Which actually...
Yeah, that's on this little one too, right here. It shows you how stressed you are.
Yes, and what was funny, and it's funny, but it's not funny, and I'm going to be completely transparent here, because that's what we do. All of our stress responses came back as highly stressed.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a lot of work to do ourselves, but that's okay, because we have the tools and accessories here to do so.
And we'll do it together.
And we do it together, which is an accountability factor.
And you guys help us, so...
Yeah. I mean, I think these Muses episodes are kind of stress relieving for me too a little bit, because, I mean, we came in here this morning, and you've seen me dragging butt, and it's been quite a morning trying to get me up and motivated, but we plug in the camera and we're like, let's do this, yes! So there is a stress reducing factor here for me, I think.
Yeah. And I know when I come in and I've got, oh God, I didn't sleep enough or something like that. This one, I can sit down at the table with her, and boy, I'm up and ready to go within an hour. Just a cup of coffee with her and move right along.
Yes.
But we play off each other
Coffee
too.
tends to make me bounce off the walls.
Yeah, it doesn't make me bounce off the walls, but we play off each other. We do our brainstorming over coffee. Mm-hmm. We do projects over coffee. Mm-hmm. And just, everything in here lately has been the whole spectrum of the chakras and all about the energy, and we feed each other's energies.
Mm-hmm. And which visually now makes sense, since we're all different. Someone who is more head in the clouds, like Tina, benefits from being around someone who's more grounded, like Tennille. Mm-hmm. Even though Tennille's like a little hurricane, I love her to death, but she's definitely more grounded.
Tennille kind of covers the
between the root and the sacral.
The root and the sacral. Jeannie covers between the solar plexus and the heart.
Sacral and heart, yeah.
And then you're in there on the whole body.
Yeah, that gold thing. She said that I had to do a lot of research on gold auras, because that's
and then there's
usually kind of different.
Third eye, throat chakra, and in that area. and Miss Tina Universal Princess. So
Manifestation Queen, as she calls herself.
yes, that's what I call her.
Yeah, so. But, I mean, another segment of this report, I mean, she gives you a 20-some page report that tells you...
28 pages that tells you what each little thing means.
Yes, and your color aura, what does that mean in your personality, and your work life, and your everything, like every aspect.
Well, here's part of it. Tina's lavender white, and that means she's spiritual, enlightened, energy, sensitive, and translucent. Or transcendent. Translucent. You can see through her. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, mine is indigo blue, which is calm, compassionate, nurturing, idealistic, peaceful. I don't know about that all the time. Stephanie, hers is orange, artistic, physical, creative expression, and excitement. And it's the same with Tennille and Jeannie as well. So we have a lot of different personalities, but we're all motivated in the same area. So what we have overlaps.
What I thought was absolutely fascinating about these reports is where Jeannie has a lot of orange flowing through her. Her core is orange, and orange correlates with the sacral chakra, which correlates with creativity. On the orange report, it specifically says creative expression. And creative expression is the name of Jeannie's business.
Yes.
I just thought that was, when we saw that, we were like...
And it's kind of funny because she's had that name for a year and a half, 2 years now. And it just comes up on this here recently.
There was a lot of the things that Sondra, in that report looked at us and said, and we kind of looked at each other and I was like, how does she, we just met her. How does she know this?
Yeah, it's what our energy is telling.
Like she looked at me and told me that I have a very analytical, you can tell me something, but I'm going to go Google it anyways. And I'm going to read everything there is about it before I make a conscious decision. And yes, that is me.
Over analytical sometimes.
Yeah, well, but that's who I am, apparently. So that's just something that's just a part of me. And but when she was going through all of this, I mean, I think you remember the second day after she did the second reading and she was talking about the gold aura, I actually got very emotional because of what she was telling me about the gold aura. And when I did some more research about the gold aura, it was just like, this is crazy. And it was a little overwhelming for me to get that kind of insight from a stranger.
The only thing that I was a little upset about was my aura on the chart was really small, whereas Tina's was like wall to wall to wall. And I was trying to figure out, why is my aura so compact? And she told me because at that moment, in that time, I had put everything else aside and realized this is about me. This is about where I'm at, not just in my growth, but in how I balance my energies. And I thought that was kind of cool. But, you look at it and, some people's auras are blocks long, like Tina.
Like Tina. Yeah.
And here I am in this little bitty dot. So it just,
Tina's, though,
it's amazing.
I know that you and Jeannie are also Reiki masters, but
when Tina's in the shop, Tina's the Reiki master. She is the one that practices Reiki.
She is just full embodied, a spiritual being within herself. Her energy, the way just being around her, and it was not surprising for me to see that she was a big white glow and her aura was wall to wall. And but also at the same time, when you have someone who you go to as a healer for that very specific thing, this right here, if anything, should be like, this is what I want my energy healer to look like.
Yes.
Like, if for those skeptics out there, those Reiki skeptics, this can't be any more of a testimony to the person's ability to do certain things.
It's not just this. If you can see down here,
I mean, well, you can look at the camera and see, like, this is just,
that
you see
travels
light.
through her whole body.
Yeah.
I mean, she is almost totally surrounded in light.
And so that is, you know, it's really hard to do. I mean, you can get personal testimonies for, you know, wow, that Reiki experience was really nice, it made me feel really good. Reiki is not a, I guess you can say, like, a widely accepted job where it's easy to be like, yeah, you have the training for it, et cetera, et cetera. So you can't get anything better than, like, this picture right here to say, oh wow, she really is like a white light. She is a healer, and she is an energy worker, and you can see it, and this is one of the best proofs of what she does that you can possibly have for her field.
But one of the things that I'm curious about, I want to invite Sondra Lambert back. I'll get it out in a minute. And compare.
Yes.
Just compare to see, you know, how they change, because they don't always stay the same. They change colors as you grow, or as you don't grow, or if you don't take care of yourself, or you get sick.
Yeah.
You know, it all changes.
It'd be fascinating, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more in the next episode, but it'd be fascinating to do some of that inner work that we're going to talk about and see how it changes then.
Yeah.
And actually compare. Say, like, if you take one person before the program, get their aura picture done, and then 8 weeks later, take their aura picture again.
Yeah.
And then you would really see if they were able to initiate and make those changes within the program.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was also a brainstorming idea that I did on video, guys. You are witnessing magic happen. This is how we do it. So, with that being said, we do hope to have Sondra back in the store at sometime in the near future, hopefully multiple times this year, to do her magical work, because this is pretty cool. But we are going to head off on this episode so that we can talk about what we want to talk about on the next episode, which would be more on chakras. So we thank you for listening. Please follow us on the Facebook page if you don't already, because that's where you will see the event for the next aura pictures when Sondra comes back in town, or the hypnosis. We are at Crystal Lotus Shop, SHOPPE, on Facebook, and at CLSWV on Instagram, and our website is www.clswv.com. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date on the Muses podcast as they launch. We are also now on Spotify, Muses of the Crystal Lotus, and I will put that link into the show notes. That way, if you are just a grab-and-go audio podcast listener, you can subscribe to us on Spotify as well. And until next time, folks, we're going to jump right into our next episode here. Well, you won't see it until a week later, but we're going to jump right into it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Muses of the Crystal Lotus. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for professional care by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical condition in either yourself or others. Consult your physician for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the podcast. Under no circumstances shall the Crystal Lotus Shop, any guests or contributors to the podcast, be responsible for damages arising from use of this podcast. Until next time, healthy blessings.